So there I was, sitting across from my fiercest rival, the one opponent I had faced in countless strategic duels, the brilliant Grandmaster Elena Csov. Our rivalry on the chessboard was legendary, with each of us anticipating the other's moves with near-perfect precision. Today, however, our battleground was not a chess tournament but an ordinary family gathering. Our mothers, old college friends, had reunited and decided to introduce their families. Little did they know their children were engaged in an ongoing battle of wits. As we sat in the cozy living room, pretending to listen to the adults' conversation, our eyes locked in a silent challenge. This was more than just a game to us, it was an intricate dance of strategy and cunning. "Elena, why don't you show Alexander the new chess set you got?" my mother suggested, oblivious to the tension that simmered beneath our polite smiles. "Of course," Elena replied with a sly smile. "I'd love to." We moved to the small chess table in the corner, where a beautifully carved wooden chess set awaited. As we set up the pieces, I recalled every match we had played, every tactic I had employed, and every mistake that had cost me victory. Today, I was determined to finally outmaneuver her. Our game began with quiet intensity. I decided to play aggressively, launching an unexpected opening to throw her off balance. Elena, always composed, countered with a solid defense. I tried to read her strategy, searching for any sign of weakness, but she was as inscrutable as ever. Midway through the game, as I maneuvered my pieces into an attacking formation, I noticed something peculiar. Elena's gaze was not focused on the board but on the reflection in the nearby window. I glanced subtly to the side and saw the reflections of our mothers deep in conversation. Elena was listening intently to them while simultaneously engaging in our duel. I realized she was using their conversation as a distraction, hoping I would miss a crucial detail on the board. This was Elena's signature move, drawing attention away from her true intentions. I decided to exploit this by feigning distraction. I pretended to be engrossed in the adults' discussion about a family vacation, allowing my focus on the game to wane. Seeing an opportunity, Elena made a bold move, advancing her knight into what she thought was an advantageous position. But I was ready. Her overconfidence had led her into a trap. With a swift series of moves, I launched a counterattack, capturing her knight and threatening her queen. The balance of power shifted in my favor. For the first time in our long rivalry, I saw a flicker of surprise cross her face. "You've improved, Alexander," she admitted with a grudging smile, resetting her pieces and conceding the match. As we packed away the chess set, I realized that our battle extended beyond the chessboard. In a strange way, our rivalry was what pushed each of us to new heights, honing our skills and sharpening our minds. This encounter had taught me something vital. Sometimes the real game is not just the one on the board but the one that lies beyond it, in the hearts and minds of those who play. With the match over, we rejoined our mothers, who were none the wiser to the intense mental duel that had just taken place. As Elena and I exchanged knowing glances, I understood that while our rivalry would continue, there was a newfound respect between us, forged in the crucible of competition. The gathering ended with promises of future meetings. As we left, Elena turned to me with a smile. "Until next time, Alexander," she said. "I look forward to our next game." And I did too. For in the end, the true victory lay not just in defeating a rival but in the relentless pursuit of excellence that our rivalry inspired. A few weeks later, I received an invitation to participate in an international chess tournament. It was an opportunity one couldn't pass up, especially since the competition would bring together some of the brightest minds from around the world. I was eager to put my skills to the test and, more importantly, to see how I fared against my greatest rival, Elena. The tournament was held in a grand old hotel nestled in the heart of a bustling city. Players from every corner of the globe arrived, each with their own unique style and strategy. As I walked through the grand hall filled with tables and chessboards, the air buzzed with anticipation and excitement. I spotted Elena across the room, her sharp gaze already assessing the competition. We exchanged a nod of acknowledgement, a silent promise to meet again on the battlefield. The tournament proceeded with intensity. Each round was a grueling test of endurance and mental fortitude, but I managed to advance steadily, using everything I had learned from my previous encounters with Elena. The final round arrived sooner than expected, and it was no surprise that Elena and I were pitted against each other. As we took our seats, the tension between us was palpable. The room fell silent as the match began, with spectators gathering to witness the culmination of our long-standing rivalry. The game unfolded with calculated precision. Every move was a dance of strategy and counter-strategy, a battle of minds where one wrong decision could mean defeat. Our eyes rarely left the board as we navigated the intricate landscape of pawns, knights, and rooks. Halfway through the match, something unexpected happened. A commotion erupted near the back of the room as one of the players suddenly collapsed, clutching his chest. The tournament ground to a halt as medics rushed in, attending to the stricken player. Amid the chaos, I glanced at Elena, who seemed equally concerned. For the first time, our rivalry took a backseat to the well-being of a fellow competitor. Without a word, we both stood and moved toward the player, joining the crowd to see if there was anything we could do. The player was eventually stabilized and taken to a nearby hospital. The tournament organizers announced a brief pause in the competition, giving everyone a chance to regroup. During the break, Elena approached me with an unusual proposition. "Alexander, I know this might sound strange, but what if we join forces for a simultaneous exhibition match? It could be a way to honor the spirit of the game and show support for our fellow player." Her suggestion took me by surprise. Elena was not known for her collaborative spirit, but I saw the sincerity in her eyes. This was an opportunity to do something meaningful beyond our personal rivalry. "All right," I agreed, extending my hand. "Let's do it." The exhibition match was announced, drawing even more spectators than our original game. We took our places at the center of the room, with a line of challengers facing us. The atmosphere was electric, charged with anticipation and goodwill. Together, Elena and I worked seamlessly, our styles complementing each other in unexpected ways. She was aggressive and bold, while I focused on defense and strategy, creating a balanced approach that left our opponents struggling to keep up. As we moved from board to board, making our moves in harmony, I realized that our rivalry had evolved into something greater. We were pushing each other to new heights, not just as opponents but as allies in the pursuit of excellence. The exhibition match concluded with applause and cheers from the crowd. We had succeeded in not only showcasing our skills but also bringing a sense of camaraderie to the tournament. The experience left me with a newfound respect for Elena, and I could tell she felt the same. As the tournament resumed, we returned to our own match. The stakes were higher than ever, but the animosity had faded, replaced by a deep understanding of what we could achieve together. In the end, Elena emerged victorious, her tactical brilliance shining through in the final moves. I congratulated her with genuine admiration, knowing that our rivalry had transformed into a partnership of equals. As we shook hands, she smiled. "Until our next duel, Alexander. It's been an honor." "Likewise," I replied, feeling the weight of our history and the promise of future battles. As I left the tournament hall, I realized that the true victory lay not in defeating an opponent but in the friendships and alliances forged along the way. And with that, I knew that the next time we faced each other, it would be with respect, camaraderie, and the unyielding pursuit of greatness.